Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'll be sharing with you my favorite crime novels. So these, like, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I'm a sucker for like crime series. Like that is like my bread and butter, like my favorite of all time. So that was definitely like the genre that really got me into reading. So like I said, I really enjoy it. So these are like my top 5 favorite crime series of all time. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's go ahead and get started. So starting out, I have to start out with the series that started it all for me, and that is the Rizzoli Isles series by Tess Garrison. So this was the first crime series that I ever read, and it's near and dear to my heart. I've read all of the books out there and I love them all so dearly. So basically the premise of this, it follows a homicide detective named Jane Rizzoli and the medical examiner named Dr. Myra Isles in Boston and their adventures together basically. But there was just something about this series that drew me in. Tess Garrison is or was a physician, so a lot of the medical terminology in here is very it's very accurate because I am in the medical field, so I'm like, I know that's true. But she does it in a way that like everyone can like understand. She's really good at explaining these things, which I really enjoyed, just kind of doing that. But yeah, like I remember like my mom would pick me up from school on Friday and we'd walk into town and we'd go to the bookstore and I would pick up the next book in the series and I'd read that throughout the week, and then next Friday we'd go and I get the next one. So that's how much I love these. There's also a TV show on TNT as well that was really good, that finished or like had the finale a couple years ago, and I love that. That was a good summer one, and it's also on Hulu. All of them are on there, so if you are interested. The first episode kind of deals with the first and second book in this, but then it kind of becomes its own thing. But I really like both of them as well. So like I said, I really enjoy these. And this is another one of like the original ones. So I read the Rizzoli Isles series. I started reading in grade 10. This is one I started picking up in grade 12, and it is the Scarpetta series by Patricia Cornwell. For this one though, like I read all the way up to, I'll like have down here because I don't remember, but after that it changes from first person narrative to third person. So a lot of people didn't like that, so I wasn't even gonna bother reading that. But I really love these. These ones are really dark and creepy. I remember reading, there's like, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there's this one kind of like story arc throughout this series that is just really, really creepy, and like just the way it was described, I was like, oh my goodness, this is definitely one that I want to go back and reread because I did really enjoy these as well. Like, and I flew through these. I love them so much. They're really interesting. So Scarpetta is a medical examiner that she works closely with this kind of, you know, rough and tough detective, and they seem like an odd team, but they work really well together. So like I said, really enjoy these, and I feel like these are like a classic like crime series as well. So yeah. So these next ones are a little bit more recent, like they're a little bit more modern. Like Rizzoli Isles and the Scarpetta one started out in the 90s. So like especially the older ones are a little dated, just in terms of like the technology, like with pagers and all that. So these ones are a little bit more modern. The first one having to be the Ericka Foster series by Robert Bryzenda, and I just marathoned through these not too long ago, so they are very fresh on my mind. But these ones are incredibly fast-paced, and like these ones stand out for me just in terms of how fast-paced they are. They are really quick reads because of that, and like I feel like every chapter for the most part would end on a cliffhanger, so you just want to keep reading and reading, which I think is really good. I really like Ericka as a character, and we get to see a lot of character development throughout kind of all of the books in here. I really love this. Like I said, this has become one of my favorites because of that, just a lot of the stuff. But she is a homicide detective in London, and like I said, this one is like mid 2010s. So it's more modern, the technology is modern, but like I said, these are so incredibly fast-paced that I think you guys, if you're struggling getting into crime, like start with this one because it is so fast-paced. It keeps you on the edge of your toes, and I think this one stands out because of that. So like when I say these are my favorite, like this one has Like, I love this one, and it is the Sydney Parnell series by Barbara Nicholas, and this first one being Blood on the Tracks. And so like this one is like, when I say like, you know, homicide detective and this one really stands out from the pack in terms of the characters in here. So Sydney is a ex-Marine who was overseas in Afghanistan, and she is now a kind of security guard almost, or like part of the police department that works for the train system, which I didn't know was a thing. But what's unique about this is that her sidekick is her canine companion Clyde, who was also in Afghanistan as well, who belonged to the man that she loved, who was killed overseas. And so this one, I think, like, not only is the character set up really different and unique, but I really love how this book tackles PTSD, and it also raises some questions about how our society doesn't really prepare or like doesn't really help soldiers, so like when they come back. So I think like one of the comments was like, you know, they like train you so hard to adjust to life overseas, but when you come back they don't help you readjust back to civilian life. And I really like how that is a constant theme throughout the 3 books that are already out as well. But I love like the dynamics between Clyde and Cindy. They're just really cute together, and I love dogs too, so like that had me like when I first saw, I was like, okay, canine companion, that's all I need to know. But like I said, these ones are also really kind of twisted and really fast-paced as well, so I think you guys will really like this one. And it's also building towards something kind of a conspiracy with the military as well, which, or like what happened overseas, which I think is really good as well. So definitely recommend this one. And lastly, I have the Cormoran Strike series by Robert Galbraith or J.K. Rowling, and me and my sister are obsessed with this series. I got her hooked to it, and then she got her boyfriend hooked on it as well. So yeah, this one is basically, it follows a homicide or a private investigator named Cormoran Strike and his unlikely sidekick Robin. And like the first 2 books are really good, but like Career of Evil was like amazing. Like if you've read this, like everyone agrees this one is the best one. And then Lethal White came out later last year as well, which was really, really good. But what I really love about this is that I didn't know it was written by J.K. Rowling, and I was like, this is like really like kind of, you know, intense in the language and some of the descriptions, and I was like, oh my goodness. So just be aware of that. It is kind of very adult. But I like love the relationship between Cormoran and Robin, and it kind of, in the first 2 it's building toward this, and then like this is like where the series takes off. And like I said, me and my sister and her boyfriend are all obsessed with this one, so we love it. It's just one that you have to go in and just immerse yourself in it, and because there's 4 of them out now, you can just marathon through the current like published works, and it's just so good. Like I said, they are very long compared to like some of the smaller ones, as you can see, but it doesn't read like, especially like Lethal White was like 600 pages, and it doesn't read like a big novel. Like it's just very fast-paced, but there's a lot going on in terms of character side development, like the overarching crime. And what I like with this one is that you're figuring the crime out with the characters as they're figuring out, so it's very good. Like I said, I cannot recommend this series enough. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what some of your favorite crime series are and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.